it is good news is that God gave us a good food to eat. You know? God gave us good food to eat. There's 14 superfoods. This is the book Superfoods. The author is Stephen Pratt, MD, and Kathy Matthews. And then content says that there's 14 superfoods. Beans, blueberries, broccoli, oats, and oranges, pumpkin, wild salmon, soy, spinach, tea, tomatoes, and turkey, walnuts, and yogurt. And out of this 14 food, if you cannot eat all of them, at least says that remember to eat blueberries and spinach most days and salmon, or it's 6 sidekicks, 2 or 4 times a week. These 3 foods alone will change your life and health. So you chased your grandkid away?
I chased my lovely grandkid. You didn't get to see our lovely grandkid this morning. So maybe next week. Now I was gonna the next news item. There's been a study done. This is a kind of about health. That a study was done by the Royal College of Psychiatrists in Britain. They've issued a warning that women who have abortions have increased risk of mental illness. Women that have abortions have increased mental illness. And so if you want to have mental health, if you want to avoid risk of mental health problems, you avoid having an abortion. In a prepared statement, the RCP recommended that healthcare professionals who assess or refer women who are requesting an abortion, they should take steps to determine other options, and they should explain to them the increased risks of mental illness. So you got to keep your body healthy, you got to keep your mind healthy, and the actions you take affect your mind.
First, against God is mental illness to begin with.
Exactly.
And then God also gave us beautiful house plants. You can put it in, and those house plants also cleanse the air. And for one instance, this book is how to grow fresh air. How do you grow fresh air? You put in the dirt and you grow. That's what exactly it is. You put some seeds like a Boston fern or Florissant or gerbera, daisy, or some plant seeds into your pot, and then it grows out, and those plants will clean your air. So this says how to grow fresh air.
Amen.
And this is amazing. Removal of the toxic gas formaldehyde by houseplant. I don't know what formaldehyde is.
Formaldehyde.
Oh, formaldehyde. What is
Removal of the toxic gas formaldehyde by houseplants. Formaldehyde is a toxic gas that makes you sick, and a lot of new furniture emits formaldehyde because the foam and stuff, the petroleum products they make in it, it emits formaldehyde, especially when it's new. So you need to get that out of your air, and this shows the houseplants that do the best at that. What's the top?
Boston fern.
What's Boston fern?
Yes.
That simple houseplant
That removes 20 micrograms of the formaldehyde per hour.
Wow.
For 20 micrograms. And that is the highest, and the lowest is the aloe vera, 2 micrograms. It's mainly because of Boston fern is big and aloe vera is small.
Right.
So any type of green leaf or plants will do all kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
And the formaldehyde is only one type of the toxin. There's a lot of toxins here. How do you read that? That and that.
Xylene and toluene.
Ammonia, I know.
Ammonia.
And so many other things.
And it's like, and other different plants have different specialties, but basically it comes down to the green plants.
Yes.
Do the good work, and in some cases it's flowers too. They've got some pretty flowers. So any pretty plant you put in your house, it's removing bad toxins from the environment and helping you be healthy.
Yeah,
Here's another toxin in our academia environment. There's a new movie out that's exposing the toxin. It's the toxin of atheism and the toxin of evolutionism. The toxin of educational bigotry. The movie is called Expelled. This movie is called Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed, and stars Ben Stein. It's filmed in documentary style, and it shows the viewer how the debate about the origin of life is one-sided on college campuses and academic institutions worldwide. It has, especially in the United States, worldwide and the United States, it shows how if you have been studying the science and seeing how the science points, the scientific evidence points to there must have been an intelligent designer of these extremely complex things like the simple cell. They kick the professor out of school. They do not want it discussed. Why? Because the toxin of atheism has infected our school, the toxin of evolutionism. It's affecting their minds. They do not want a God, because if there's a God, then they have to be accountable to him. They want to make their own rules. They want to be the ones in power. So, the toxin of atheism, what are the results of the toxin of atheism? According to science, Darwinism, evolutionism, played a role in the Holocaust, as the social elite of that time used Darwin principles to justify purging the society of inferior races. So, that's exactly what happened. The toxin of atheism, the toxin of Darwinism, was used to commit this eugenics project of getting rid of millions and killing millions and millions of what they considered inferior races. So we have to fight against that toxin.
Look at these toxins. This is the book of the Green Planet, Blueprint for Green Planet. And then look at all this toxin environment we are living in. We are literally living in the toxin world, and this book was written a long time ago, so they don't talk about cellular phones, those
Right.
kind of things. So anyway, that's all Green Planet.
The Green Planet. Now,
We can
as
also,
we come to a close, we've got about a minute and a half. These plants that Jesus has given us, the knowledge that he's given us, the ability to study that he's given us, to study the toxins that are created in the environment by us and by just natural occurrences. He's given us the ability to study that, to understand it, and to apply it to our lives. If we just read that, oh, eating junk food all day makes us fat and unhealthy, and we go, oh yeah, I know that, and then continue to eat it, that means our knowledge is worthless. So we got to use our knowledge correctly. And the knowledge of foods, the knowledge of spiritual effects in our lives, we have to use correctly. And ultimately, we found out that we can't do it ourselves. Anytime we've tried to design our own solution without including God's laws and God himself, we fail. So right now, could you just trust in Jesus? Like it says here, faith without works is dead. But someone will say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. So right now, take a step. Trust in Jesus. Say, Jesus, please forgive all my sins and be my Lord.
Amen.
Amen. See you next week.